Okay.
Just getting myself. We'll talk about the radios, eh? These are called the rapid fire radios. They come with 2 ports, which is in and out. If you check here, there is the POE out, POE in. So us, we are only concentrated in this port, the import. That's what we are using, the import. So the radio actually comes, the basic idea is like this. This is the radio that's got it. 2 ports. It's got out and in. Us, we are using the input because the output is a connection, is supposed to be connectivity from one radio to the other radio, which is the which supposed to be the out. It's supposed to come. No, it's supposed to be on the in. Sorry, on the in, like this. In case there is another radio, but on our network we don't actually use this port. We don't actually use it. We use the input. On the input, if a cable comes from here, it goes to the POE switch. It goes to the POE switch. Where did I put it? It's here. It goes to the POE switch. This one, the rapid fire POE switch. It comes from here. It goes to the POE switch. Most of these are 48 volts, or all mistaken. Yeah, 45, yeah. So we'll say 44 to 48 volts, this POE. Then from the POE, it goes into the switch. Right? Goes into the switch. From the switch, for example, we want to view a camera, right? This radio is seated on this area here. Then we've got another radio here. Then it goes to the POE switch. Then another cable comes here, goes to the switch. Here we don't know which radio now is taking feed or footage or video to our control room or our server. If this radio is taking feed to our server, which means this radio will go to the CCTV for footage. Then hook, there is a camera here. One cable comes, it goes on the POE. On the POE, another cable comes out, goes on the switch. You remember that time we talked about connectivity? This one, eh? Yeah. So from here, this radio it will have a side to this radio. There's the communicate, which means if they communicate these two, for example, this is going to be the master. It will be 192.168.50.10. And this one is going to be 192.168.50.11. And the camera is going to be 192.168.50.20. So if you can, if these two see each other, which means we're going to have access to the camera through this connectivity here. It's going to see each other. Let's talk about about the radios today. So, since connectivity is from here to here, we are going to see the camera here, 192.168.50.20. We'll see it from CCTV because of this connectivity. So by default, these radios come with an IP here, it's here, which is 192.168.2.66 by default. That is the IP that comes with the radio. So we're going to configure the radio first. You're going to find the radio, this radio, and this radio. You're going to find it in this IP address. Both of them, they'll have same IP address because by default that's how they come in default. Then later on, we'll log in one radio. We'll log in one radio. After logging in one radio, the channel is just the same as they're changing IP for the camera. That's the same. So this one, the only difference is that on the camera we've got advantage of the software that can actually search for the IP before the IP address, right? But on the radio, they give us the IP address. So the first thing, we're going to change our PC. Okay? The first thing, we're going to change our computer to 192.168.2.100, depending what you want. That last, you give your computer this IP. Upper. I'm interested in the 2 here. The 2 here. Take note. We're going to give our computer this IP address first. Then from there we connect the radio to the PoE. One cable should go in the PoE to the radio, and the other cable should go from the PoE to our laptop or our computer. Once we give the IP this camera, we're going to go into the browser. In the browser, we'll log in into the log in into the radio. Log into the radio. Which browser? Okay. It doesn't matter which browser on this one, on the radio. It doesn't matter. When you want to log in, which is 92.168.2.66. We log into the radio now using this IP. This is the default IP for the radio. Once you log in, we'll go into the settings, configuration, network, and everything. When you go into the settings, we change the IP for the radio to the network IP address. For example, 192.168.50.10. We've changed the IP address for the what? For the radio. Once we change the IP address for the radio, then number 4. We save. Find the somewhere. Then we save. After we save, we're going to go back, change our computer to this IP. So you change it since the computer was in 2.1. We're going to change it to 50. Back to 50. If we change our radio to 192.168.50.10, 50.100, which means now we're able to see the radio. Then after turning the IP for the radio itself has got steps. I'll show you when you log into the radio. There's got steps where if it's a master, it will tell you, it will ask you to make it as a master. After you make it as a master, then the next step is to get it's just by default it was already set. Just have to go master, then give it a name. After give it a name, like for example, it's in Chingola. You give it Chingola. The next radio on the other tower in Kitwe, you're going to give it Kitwe. This one you give it Chingola. So that they see each other. Then the next to give you the prompt is here to follow. When it's done, everything is done, you save it. It has been configured. Simple as all that. Then the next radio, the slave, you are going to, on the master, you're going to make it as a slave. Okay? If you make it as a slave, then it will be on the other edge, so that the radio should actually see each other. They see each other, then better. And again, once you are done, for argument's sake, we won't have one radio today, but if you put them like this, there's always a network bar that shows. Most it's recommended from 50 going up. It's okay. You can't just hit 100 in the atmosphere. It's difficult. Sometimes it can be, if you are lucky, it can be 90, 80, or 100 if you are lucky. Then if you're 100, which means you never experience any lagging on any camera or anything on the network. So if they see each other, they give you maybe 50, 60, 100 and everything. Then for you to prove that the radio is connected, pin it. Pin the other radio. If you see that it's giving you good figure, then done deal. Connect it to the switch. All the cameras on the network, you see them. If it's not a network, if it's not a network camera, let's say it's a company that has hired you to install a network on different positions. Like for example, one is in Kitwe, one is in Chingola, but they want to be accessing the office in Chingola, one is in Kitwe, and they say we want to use the M10 towers since they are tall to set up a connectivity. So then you are going to pin Chingola if you are reaching. Oh, Chingola can see. Okay. Computer cheat and IP bunch. Computer Benjamin. Ni 192.168.50.77. We pin it. It pasama 11111 orma 2222 orma 67152, which means TIFIC. Which means we are able to access this, and sometimes this can be used. Let's say the main server is in Kitwe for the company, and they want to be saving data in Kitwe, which means the Chingola, since Chingola TIFIC, we can see the Chingola cameras. Everything, if the network was set in a way that you need to save data on the server in Kitwe through this radio, through these radios that are going to install, you are going to save data. And in these radios, they also have data. They can also transmit data from one point to another. It's not only made for cameras, they're for anything. TV, as long as it goes into a signal, it's data. It can be transmitted between the two radios. It's very simple if you understand it. Very, very simple. Just 1, 2, 3, 4 stages. You log in into it, then you are done. So on the PC, you come closer. On the PC, we'll do this. Connect this. this one, Steve. There's a power cable there. There's that power cable there. No, don't come on until I put in a cable. So this one is data. Put it. So there's a data in and POE. So the data in it's to the laptop. The POE is going to the radio. So I'll put it like this here. Then this I've got a knob we're going to put on the in. Just unscrew it. Connection. So, see, it's on, eh? It's on. So, come on, I can charge back. Then we're going to go into the computer. Since they've given us the default IP, which is here, so we'll change our computer. The wrong procedure, the way we're changing the IP for the cameras and everything. Go on the network, go on the change adapter, go on, it's not connected, let me wait for it to connect first. Connected now, there's connectivity there, go on right click, properties, you go on this, Internet Protocol version 4, go on properties, here you're going to change, the default IP is in what? 2. Then you say okay, close, you go into the browser, the Chrome one, you use Chrome, go 192.168.2. What is the last figure? 66. Enter. Into the radio. So by default, it comes like this. So remember what I was saying, that it's a simple thing. I just say here. We'll give a password later on. Push the program. So by default, it comes like this. Just say okay. You agree.
I don't know how many people have ever read these terms and conditions. Country don't change, so they're always by that, just like that. US, and you here, you see, right? Guided setup. It's the prompt is already there. Next, this is a master, slave. So upper here, take note, it's a master. It's a slave. If there's already a file that was there on the radio, I could dial. It's same. Just want to maintain the same. For example, this radio is default in alpha. So like the new radio, you load the file. Whenever you save the old file, browse it, then you load to take you where the files are. You load it. Then if you load it, everything is already there in the file. So since we don't have, we'll go master. It's a brand new master. We'll go on next. Here location. It's in Kitwe. It's a master. It's in Kitwe. We'll say Kitwe. Kitwe. Password, you can give it now if you want. We'll say admin. Admin 01. Like that. Admin 1 2 3 4 5. Admin 1 2 3 4 5. You give it a password here. IP, change it. Static. The static and dynamic. Static doesn't change no matter how much something happens. It doesn't change. It doesn't change the IP. Then dynamic, it assigns itself an IP address. So it's a difference. So here we are going to give it 9.50, as we said there. 192.168.2. We'll put .50. We said to give it what? No. We'll give it 10. .10. Then the gateway, we just change on the 2 here. Now that remember, if you remember in the cameras, just change gateway, just change here and put 50, so that it becomes the same. Then next, very simple programming configuration already. So now here, if we had 2 radios, even that they're supposed to see each other, it's done. Simple. You're done. Well, resetting the radio. There's a button here. Let the radio reset. The power button. Click. Check on those controls. It's not resetting. So I've put it back to what? To the default. Default. The rate is very simple, very simple. Even if I log in into this, it will come again. But it will come as a new radio again. You will see. So whatever the data I put there has gone no longer there.